Hello, I'm Lindsay Caplan. I'm assistant professor in the History of Art and Architecture department, where I teach courses in modern and contemporary art. And my project at the Cogut looks at the role of artists and art historians within the prehistories of artificial intelligence. Specifically, it focuses on practitioners who mobilize analogies between humans and machines. Artists were among some of the first to register the conceptual and political implications of new technologies like computers. They understood these technologies above all as conceptual frameworks, not as new materials to be imported into a category art that remained unchanged, but as radically altering what it means to be an artist, to communicate with an audience, and to conceive of the social significance of their art. And analogies between humans and machines are everywhere in these reimaginings. Creativity is rethought as algorithmic. Style is understood in a statistical distribution between tradition and novelty. Perception is recast as pattern recognition, and communication with an audience is seen as a form of information processing, and even life itself comes to be understood as a cybernetic interactive system of adaptation and learning. In my project, I look at artists in Europe and the Americas working between 1950 and 1980. And artworks include kinetic sculptures, abstract painting, some of the first actually computer-generated images, as well as video installation and performance. Artists drew on algorithms to allow a machine to complete the creation of their work. They used theories of perception that themselves were being radicalized by fields such as neurobiology to create abstract paintings that prompted hallucinations of compositions and colors that weren't even there. And they designed sculptures and interactive video installations that played with new ideas about distributed consciousness and intersubjectivity arising in early AI. And they did this at a moment when romantic ideas about a lone individual artist, to say nothing of the rogue individualism associated with capitalist subjectivity and the art market, had been under attack for decades. But my project is also motivated by a crisis around this very critique. My work has always been motivated by an investment in really stressing the collective conditions of individual existence and agency. And art history initially appealed to me because of how it dealt with materiality as evidence of social and collective life. But this is being thrown into question today by the exploitation and monetization of our collective creativity and intelligence by AI, and the immense amount of human expression as it exists in the material form we call art is being brazenly exploited by companies who render creative traditions mere training data for these intelligent machines to the profit of a rarefied few. So my project on analogies is centered on what is really a deep ambivalence that pervades these practices of automated collective art and the decentered, dispersed human. And I'm pursuing this book with the hope that it will A, recenter humanistic inquiry in the history of technology, and B, make clear that in fact the history of technology, as it is developed and written by humans, shares with the humanities an unruly, contradiction-laden approach to these questions about agency, representation, communication, and form. So this semester, I'm focusing on writing an article about how analogies between humans and machines infuse broader discussions about the death of the author. And this was a theoretical discourse that developed in the late 1960s, invested in rethinking how meaning is produced. And it foregrounds the active role of the audience or reader in this production, and this exercised major influence across the arts and humanities. These conversations are not usually seen in conjunction with new media art, but technology very much shaped the terms as well as many of the actual artistic strategies through which the death, and by this I mean the dispersal and collectivization of authorship, was realized. So in looking at what is alive and what is dead in the death of the author, I hope to put critical pressure on the split between utopian and apocalyptic thinking about technology and revive some of the constitutive paradoxes facing us today. Thank you.